Hello viewers, my name is Zahid Azad. I'm a lawyer. It's a beautiful weather outside, that's why today I just came back from my farm and now I am making a quick video regarding few new laws or new upcoming laws. So one of them will be scrap the two-child benefit cap. This is now one of the hot topics in UK. It is a quite initial stage at the moment. However, what does it mean technically? It prevents parents from claiming universal credit or child tax credit for a third child with a few exemptions. So there is quite a lot of debate is going on in the parliament. Of course, it's a very initial stage regarding anything we can confirm. However, when British Parliament or any party they started to discuss about something in Britain, it sooner or later they implement that one. So it's a little bit scary for a lot of parents. However, it's everything in initial stage. In the same time, I discussed regarding last week white paper. So of course everybody, I received several questions, a lot of queries. So nobody knows the real answer at the moment because it's very initial stage. However, I am thinking why, after Labour is one of the party who support immigrant, suddenly what happened? Our Keir Starmer changed the rhythm of Labour Party. I don't know what is the behind the story, but of course Nigel Farage, he started to talk about that immigration, what Keir Starmer just mentioned it regarding strict few border, this and that, sending them this and that, all white paper things. He started around 20 years before. He is pushing, asking British people to listen, and of course no one listened to him. From nowhere, suddenly I'm feeling, from it's again my personal opinion, Keir Starmer is talking in a tone of Nigel Farage, and I'm a little bit scared what the future we are waiting for. However, that's not a discussion we shouldn't discuss here now. I was listening few of the debate, and there was, I find it out like a few things. At the moment is a 22 billion pound black hole we have in Britain. So how they can reduce it? And of course, it's one of the big topics. Is two big topics now. Is Britain becoming an island of strangers? So there's a lot of sensitive word he used, maybe mistakenly or maybe intentionally, I don't know that, but it sounds not him. However, I can't make any comment based on the party, so they have their own way to deliver speech. However, last few weeks British government and then everybody is talking about the net migration increasing or decreasing. Is a lot of topics. This is actually one of the hot topics now, and based on that, the white paper, I believe they started to talk about the white paper topics. So what is a net migration? So that's we need to understand first. This is like a how many people is coming minus how many people is leaving, straightforward like that. From my understanding is recent figure shows that the net migration of 431,000, almost half of the level of the previous year. Why it decreased half of it, the numbers? Because of the dependent. As you know, the student visa, the graduate level, you cannot bring your dependent. So there is a huge number of students, they came to UK to study. Of course, now they cannot bring their dependents. There is a big cut. Everybody discussing. There is a high chance of that reduce the number because of the dependent. So I just wanted to add few concern of mine in my, this is of course is coming from me. This is why people are discussing about migrant, why we are such a big number in UK, including me. Why people are discussing, why parliament, why British government is worried for the immigration. Because, or immigrant, not immigration, immigrant. The reason is why, as I understand, our community, I am talking about not Bangladeshi, our community based in anyone who is coming outside as immigrant, most of the people, they are coming here, settled down here, and they started to apply for benefit. So they technically they came here for a skilled worker visa as an example, they switched it, or somebody came here for other visa, they switched it, they claim asylum claim, or they did lot of things. So what the British government is looking at, there is a certain number where they realize it that the immigrant like us, they couldn't contribute. There is no contribution, or not no, I will say the majority numbers. So as an example, imagine say 10 million people came last 5 years. These 10 million people, how many percentage of immigrant they are in a useful position, except the general positions. As an example, I'm not talking about restaurant or any superstore or other places who are working. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the engineer, the position what the country needs. That sort of position, how many percentage is filled by the immigrant? So when the British government realizes the number what they are looking at, like 100 people entered, only say 7%, 6%, 5% people they reach to a certain position, or what they expected, that number will be at least 3 to 4 times more than what is currently now. Of course, they start to look why that many people are coming, claiming benefit, taking our taxpayers' money, and what the money is going. Debt for the country is going bigger and bigger and bigger, but the income, there is not much income. So it's all things actually is coming from us who came to this country as a student, as a whatever the reason is, and then how many percentage of immigrant reach to a certain level where they can contribute. I'm not asking to contribute, everybody contributing of course, but I'm just talking about the country's point of view, the important role filled by how many immigrant. So there's a lot of numbers I am just juggling my last few weeks, and I realize it, we are really taking lot than giving. So if we started to look at our problem, this country is going down no matter what. It's not coming back to the level of when I came in this country, how the country was. It's not like this. It's not only for the immigrant. This is the problem. So as an example, if there is now people are talking about the NHS, the care visa. I understand there's a lot of misuse, but who allowed it? How that people came to this country? Who, for example, me applied for a carer license. Why the government give me a carer license without checking everything? So if I am not the right person, how I get the carer license? And this is the root of the problem. Not the problem is the immigrant, not the problem who are coming, because they are paying a heavy amount or big chunk of money to the person, to the company, and then the company is doing the dodgy things. So it's not about the immigrant. It's about, you need to find out the root of the problem, the main problem, the root of the problem. So once you find it out, the government need to, from my point of view, again, it's nothing to do with anyone. This matters. I think if we need to if we wanted to improve the matter, instead of the blaming each other, blaming immigrant, blaming like, okay, England is taking over by immigrant. No, this is not right. Blame. The blame should be the government is failing to dig or take a right decision in the right time. They are short of care worker. Okay, open the door. Before you open the door, check who is coming, through whom. Through whom, this is the part is not right. The people who are coming, they're innocent, they don't know anything. They just want a better future. That's why they're coming here. And don't forget, they're paying heavy money before they come here. This is nothing to do with immigrant. This is the matter is the government is not looking at the problem. They are blaming to the people. This is completely wrong from my point of view. Anyway, take care, and then I will update you later again whenever I get a chance. Have a great day. Bye bye, guys.